Wilson Morales from Black Film and TV talking to Sam J about season 2, about Paul's and Sam J. So talk to me about season 2. It's coming up. Is it a challenge coming up with new material for the show, considering you're one of the main writers?
Yes.
How long is the process, and before you determine what works and what doesn't work?
I feel like we're in the writer's room for like 13 weeks or something like that. 13, 14, I don't know. Something like that. And then we just put it in action, you know what I mean? And I think sometimes, we'll do something and we'll be like, I don't know if this is working. Sometimes you don't know till the edit, I'm currently in the edit and looking at things, and some things I'm like, oh, we can lift this whole section. It actually doesn't really service the story or move it along. So I think it's an ongoing process of like editing and moving and adding things.
How much have you learned, obviously, from season 1 going into this show, as far as, when you talk to your writers, what worked, what didn't work? Do you look at comments, whether it's reviews or social commentaries, as far as what people want to see and what people didn't like? Or do you hold back from season 1, saying, I'm going to save this to the next season, at the time when you say you don't know if there's going to be a next season, but you hold back a little bit?
No, I don't think it was any hold back. And I think, of course, you take into consideration everything you're hearing. I don't know how you don't, but I still just try to make the show that I believe in every time. And I really feel like that's all I can do. You're not going to please everybody. There's just no way to do that. But if I put like me at the center of it and I go, okay, this is what I believe in, then good or bad, at least I can like kind of die on that sword. And that's my approach.
Okay, so give me a little hint as to what can we expect and when can we expect it? Was it be the first episode or the last episode? Granted, we want everybody to look all the episodes, but what can we expect?
It's a more personal season. I definitely look inward more than outward this season. We're talking about jail and, my personal experiences with it, with my brother being locked up for a long time when I was younger, and death and my relationship and my fear of death. And we'll get into my mother dying and when I was 16 and kind of how that shaped and molded my feelings and ideas around death and dying. It's just a lot of personal stuff this season. And I hope that, people should just expect it to be better than it was before.
For anybody who's followed your career and probably have seen all the stuff you've done, are they getting an expanded version of something you may have talked about in the past, but now it's stretched out now because it's a series?
To some degree, yeah, I think there's always that. I feel like the themes are going to weave in and out of all my art because, it's coming from a place of self-expression. So yeah, I think to some degree.
Mm-hmm. And then, when you're working with your writers, obviously, as you're the ultimate decider as far as what's going to work or not, coming in from season 1, and obviously you've had a writing team before when you did the other shows, the comedy specials. What's been the difference, when you come back? Is everybody more comfortable now because now you have a season 2? Sometimes, when people have a season 1 of anything, it's more about like, okay, let's do as much as we can and hopefully to get an audience to see what we can go from here.
Season 1 of Pause was my first time with like having my own writing group for anything. I've never had a writing group for a special. Specials are kind of different. They're more personal. You just kind of take it out on the road and write it yourself. Well, with a show, it's like, it's a whole nother bag of worms. So I don't know that we really thought about it in any way. We really come in and just take every swing we want to take. I don't know that we really were like, this is the stuff we got to do to get to a season 2. I don't think that because I don't know. You just can't predict this shit. And I think once you start living in that, you kind of get wacky and there's no way to call it, So I just kind of put my best foot forward every time, take the swings that I want to take and kind of let the chips fall where they may.
Mm-hmm. And then how have you been balancing this? And, you got a series bust out, and you're able to still go out, like what keeps you humble, in order to, carry on as many projects that you do?
I like what I do. I enjoy it. I think that's the first thing is just, I really like it. I like creating. I love comedy. And I love just having different avenues to be creative in this space. I get restless real easy. So like a week off and I'm like, "God, I need to go do something." You know what I mean? So it doesn't feel like a lot, though it is a lot. And sometimes I do have to kind of step back and go like, give this a minute. But overall, I'm just grateful to have the opportunities that I have right now.
Mhm. And then, when you look at the show, and obviously season one was ahead because you got a season two, which is great. So like when you're having these conversations with Prentice Penny, are is it more about him listening to you, what you want to do, or him bringing in some ideas as well?
I mean, Prentice is gonna always bring in his opinion and his ideas. You know what I mean? I do think he lets me be at the forefront of it and kind of guide the ship. But yeah, he's always just gonna give his input, which I appreciate because it is a show of perspective. So the more the merrier.
hmm When you look back at season one, was there anything particular that you are fond of that got a bigger response than others?
Mm,
Like for anybody who's catching up now, and this is because I think there's a lot of TV shows now, dramas, comedies, and specifically within the black market, which is great because we didn't have that much before, and so sometimes people want to invest, but they want to know it's being renewed. As we're entering upfront season, a lot of these shows are canceled and some are getting renewed. For anybody who's catching up now and says, "Okay, we're back season two. Let me go back and start watching season one." Uh, is there anything that you think stood out and from any of the episodes that they should pay attention to, even though they should watch all of them?
episode 3 is probably my favorite episode. I would say that to me was a pinnacle episode of like, yeah, this is everything working the way I envisioned it to work.
hmm And like I said, like now you didn't hold back. Obviously, we're gonna hopefully continue and pray for your success and that we get a season three, season four, season five. You know, uh, do you play it by ear in terms of like, okay, let's hold back? Or think about it. You have your writers' room, you have your episodes done. Was there anything left on the table?
No, no, not at all.
you know and so when people see you, I always wonder, like, sometimes with comedians, even when I've met you, it's like I know who you were already, but when people meet you and they don't know you, do they get the sense that you have funny bones, or is it more on the screen, like?
I think it depends. Depends on the meeting and the situation.
Mhm. you know Well, Sam, I'm always looking out for you, and obviously, we always pray for your success. We need more of these shows coming up so that people can hear your stories, people can laugh. We need that at this time. It's good to see you. Uh, Congratulations, season two, and obviously you got Bust Down as well. So keep doing your thing. We're here to support wherever you're at. Stay safe and take care.
You too, man. Thank you so much.
Bye.